It's Michigan primary election day. On the Democratic side, you have President Joe Biden and U.S. Representative Dean Phillips and Marianne Williamson.
On the Republican side, you have former President Donald Trump and former South Carolina Governor and UN Ambassador Nikki Haley. The polls opened up at 7 o'clock this morning, and dozens of Michiganders have already cast their votes in this year's presidential primary. Many people also voting on millages, bonds, and school proposals. News 10's Deanna Giles joins us now live from the Alfreda Schmidt Community Center in Lansing to let us know how voter turnout is going there so far. Hi, Deanna.
Hi, David and Amaya. Now, since this morning, the poll workers here have seen about more than 50 people come in and cast their votes here at Schmidt Community Center. Although with it being a primary, they're not expecting a huge turnout. Voters still say it's important to come out and vote. And for voters here in Lansing and several other places, there may be only one circle to fill in for either a Democrat or Republican presidential nominee. For others in Jackson and Clinton counties, there are several school bonds and millages to decide on. As for the turnout over in Jackson, we spoke with the Jackson City spokesperson, Aaron Dimmick, who says voter turnout can usually be predicted by the amount of early voting and absentee ballots, but it's still hard to say what the turnout may be today.
We really see the highest voter turnout when it comes to a November general election for president and a November general election for governor. So this would perhaps be on the higher end when you compare it to local elections, but it's kind of hard to parcel it out.
Now, you still have just shy of 3 hours before the polls close tonight at 8. And if you have an absentee ballot, you can still drop those off in person at your precinct location. Now, coming up on News 10 at 6, I'll have more on what voters are saying. And so for now, live in Lansing, I'm Deanna Giles. Back to you all.
Thank you, Deanna. Michigan Secretary of State Jocelyn Benson in Detroit today talking about voter turnout. Benson says there has been a steady stream of voters across the state. She adds that no matter what side of the aisle you're on, we have an obligation to the nation to show Michigan is serious about our role to elect the President of the United States.
We want citizens to know this is your chance to not just be heard, but to show the power of participation. The power of showing up sends a message that you will hold elected officials accountable, that you are paying attention, and that you take seriously your vote in every election.
Benson says more than 1 million votes have already been cast in Michigan in early and absentee voting. We shouldn't expect any results until 9 o'clock tonight. Some places may take longer because they are no longer counting electronically. You can check out important issues in your community on our voters guide at WILX.com. Of course, we'll have election results as they come in. The polls do close at 8 p.m.